topics. Can you tell me what they are?
Water, animals, and food.
Good. Okay, so this is an informational text. What do you think that means? Informational text. Last week we talked about some texts that are very descriptive, right? That gives you lots of details about something. It will tell you what something looks like, what something feels like. Informational is giving you lots of information. So maybe it will be talking about history. Maybe it will be talking about travel. Maybe it will be talking about animals. Okay? So in this text, the author explains why mountains are important for people and animals. An informational text gives information and gives you facts. What are facts? A fact is something that is true. So a fact is me, Teacher Marie, I am half American and half Taiwanese. That is a fact. Did you not know that?
No.
Okay, well now you know. Another fact is you are all still in school, right? Other than Teacher Zoe and Teacher Marie, we are working now, but all of you are in school. That's a fact. What else is a fact? Taiwan is in Asia. That's a fact. Okay, so things that are true. You can find informational texts in books, magazines, and on the internet. Okay, so while we are reading, we'll first listen. While we're listening, I want you to pay attention to cause and effect sentences, all right? All right, let's begin. Follow in your book or on the screen.
What's so good about mountains?
Water. When you're thirsty, you drink water. When you want to take a shower, you turn on a faucet. But did you ever think about where all the water comes from? One reason mountains are important is that they provide fresh water for over half of all the people in the world. That's about 3.5 billion people. Can you imagine how much water is used by all those people? When the sun warms water in rivers and oceans, the liquid is transformed into water vapor that rises into the air. When enough water vapor cools, it condenses and small drops of water are formed. The drops of water turn into clouds. In the clouds, small drops of water join to make larger drops. When those drops become too heavy, they are released as rain or snow. Some rain soaks into the ground, and some of the rain runs over the ground into streams, rivers, lakes, and the ocean. This process is called the water cycle. Mountains can affect the water cycle. The size and shape of a mountain pushes the water vapor up toward the mountain top. When water drops fall on mountains, most of the water is stored as snow and as ice in glaciers. When the snow melts in the spring, the water flows down the slopes into streams, waterfalls, and rivers. Mountains are effective in storing water and are sometimes called the water towers of the world. All of the big rivers on Earth start in the mountains. For example, in India, the Ganges River starts in the Himalayan mountain range and flows for 2,500 kilometers into the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. Another example is the Rio Grande, which begins in the Rocky Mountains in the United States and flows all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Animals. Mountains are also important because they provide homes to many animals that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. You can find mountain gorillas in the mountains of East Africa and special bears called spectacled bears in the Andes. There are also snow leopards in the Himalayas. Mount Cameroon is a mountain that is also one of Africa's largest active volcanoes, rising to more than 4,000 meters at its peak. It has 210 different species of birds and 70 species of butterflies. Mountains are home to many amazing animals and birds. Unfortunately, some of these animals are becoming rare. This is happening because people are taking more land and using more resources such as water and wood. They are building farms and roads in the mountains. This means animals have less space to make their homes and find food. Food. Did you know that 80% of the food we eat comes from just 20 types of plants? 6 of these plants are found in the mountains. Do you like French fries? Well, guess what? Potatoes first came from the Andes, the world's longest mountain range, which stretches 7,000 kilometers through South America. Today, farmers in the Andes grow 2,000 different types of potatoes. In the mountains of Nepal, about 2,000 different types of rice are farmed. Corn is found in the Sierra Mountains of Mexico, and the best quality tea and coffee are grown at an altitude of about 1,500 meters. Farmers sometimes build terraces into steep mountainsides and hills to grow crops and help control the flow of water. The terraces made by Inca Indians 500 years ago are still used by farmers in the Andes Mountains in Peru. Remember how water from rain and snow flows down mountains? With rich soil and a lot of water, mountain valleys are often good places to grow fruits, vegetables, and other crops.
Okay. Okay.
The sound is Indian.
Is it Indian?
It sounds fun.
Okay, so water. So mountains. Lots of water is stored or comes from a mountain flow. So let's look at this part of the text. When you're thirsty, you drink water. When you want to take a shower, you turn on the faucet. What is a faucet? So anything that can bring the water in is called a faucet. So you can turn on a faucet, you turn it, right? Turn on the faucet. But did you ever think about where all the water comes from? One reason mountains are important is that they provide fresh water for over half of the people in the world. That's about 3.5 billion people. Can you imagine how much water is used by all those people? All right, I shouldn't be reading this. You guys should be reading this. I want everybody to read 4 sentences. I guess we'll just start from Isaac. Go.
When you're thirsty, you drink water. When you want to take a shower, you turn on a faucet. But did you even?
One more time, start from here, but.
But did you ever think about where all the water came from? One reason
Wait. I read this wrong.
comes from.
Yeah, pay attention to the words. These are easy words for you.
One reason mountains are important is that they fresh water.
No, provide.
Provide fresh water for over half of all people in the world. That's about 3.5 billion people.
Okay, stop. Ivy?
Can you imagine how much water is used by all those people? When the sun warms water in rivers and oceans, the liquid is transformed into water vapor that rises into the air. When enough water vapor cools, it condenses and small drops of water are formed.
Good. Okay, condense or condenses. What does that mean? All right, let's Google this word, okay? This is a good word. Okay, to reduce something. Or, let's see. Here, to change or make something from a gas to a liquid or a solid state. Okay, so when the water in the air, it turns into vapor, all of it together, and it turns into a cloud. Okay, so that's called condenses. But there are two other different meanings. I think you might have saw up here. Okay, I think the most often this word is used like this. To reduce something such as a speech or a piece of writing in length. That means to make it shorter. Condense, I just need the important parts. Your speech is 10 minutes long, that's too long. I want you to condense it to 7 minutes. So that means to make it shorter, but to make it shorter, you're also thinking, I want to keep the important parts. Or to make something thicker. Condense. Sometimes maybe some juice, they will sell the condensed version and they want you to add water and then you can make a lot. Condense. All right, do you have any questions? So this is the and something like that. All right, so when the water vapor goes up into the sky, it cools and condenses and turns into clouds. Okay, the drops of water. All right, Chantel, start from here, the drops of water.
The drops of water turn into clouds. The clouds from the drops of water collect to make larger drops. The last drop is into hydrogen and released as wind or sea. Some clouds slips into the ground, and some gathering clouds over the mountains and streams release lakes in the ocean.
Good. Next. Who wants to go first? Sherry. This process?
This process is called the water cycle. Process the water cycle. The size and shape of the mountain pushes the water vapor up toward the mountain top. The water drops fall on mountains. Most of the water is stored as snow and as ice and
Glaciers.
glaciers.
Okay, stop there. Thank you. Okay, so what is a process? Sorry? Anyone know? Process. Process, it can mean two things. Number one, it means like the journey of something. I have a very, very big test next year. From today to next year, I need to study every day. So the process of getting ready for my test is read 20 books, take 10 practice tests. Process, and here, how do they use the word? This process is called the water cycle. So it's talking about when the water turns into vapor, it condenses, turns into a cloud. When it's too heavy, it starts to rain again. This is a whole process, a cycle. Another meaning for the word process, like have you heard of processed foods? That means when they add or they change the food. So for example, there are potatoes. How do you get potatoes into French fries? They process the food. Maybe they cut it up, they add some more things in it. Maybe they'll first fry it, and then they'll package it and send it to the grocery stores. This is also called process. Okay, what's this word? What's this word? Effect. What's this word? Okay, effect and effect. Some people will say effect and effect. Or effect and effect. Effect, effect. It actually sounds the same. Okay, they sound the same. Do they have the same meaning? Who said I don't know? Very good. If you don't know, then say I don't know. That's okay. So here, what do we? Mountains can affect the water cycle. Okay, so yes, these words have very different meanings. And lots of times, people will get them confused. They will mix them up. Does anybody know the difference?
The first letter is different.
Okay. Does anybody know the difference in the meaning of the word? All right. Okay, so let me explain. So the first one, effect with an A, it's talking about how one thing can change another thing, like the cause and effect, right? Oh, no. Cause and effect is this one. Okay, effect. You know what? Let's Google it. This will be the safest. I don't want to give you the wrong definition. Okay, effect. How does something affect me? Okay, effect is when something has an influence over something. So for example, if today I came into the classroom and I'm in a terrible mood and I'm banging my hand on the table, and if Alexis says something like, I don't know, I yell at her, I'm like, come on. That would affect your mood. That would affect the classroom, right? So that's how when one thing can influence someone or something, or change something or someone. So in this text, what does it say? Mountains affect the water cycle. Okay, how does it affect the water cycle? It tells you here. All right, how about effect? Okay, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that to emphasize the E, but we actually say effect. Okay, this is confusing a little bit. It's very similar, but effect is talking about the result of a particular influence. Okay, so I affect you. I come in here and I'm very mad and I'm smacking the table. I affect you. Okay? But then you feel Okay, this is how I learned. Do you know what special effects are? In a movie, they'll have special effects. Special sound, special lights, or AI, these are all special effects. And then effect, this effect is talking about how something affects you. Okay, so actually, I think we could say this. This is, what's the word here? Proactive, no, this is, so this is something that you do, and this is something that happens to you. Does that make sense? Okay, let's look at these examples here. I tried taking tablets, I tried taking medicine for the headache, but it didn't have any effect. It didn't work. Effect. Or effective. We learned this for last week, right? Effective. It wasn't working. Effect. I did something, but it did not work. It was not effective. So something to remember is that it's the result. I first do something, and then the effect. There is a cause, and then effect. All right. Effect is most often a verb meaning to influence, to change something, or to impact, while effect is most often a noun meaning the result or the consequence. Does that help? Let's look at some more examples down here. One's a verb and one's a noun. There you go. All right, any questions about this? Yeah. All right, Alexis, your turn. We stopped at glacier. So here, one.
When the snow melts in the spring, the water flows down the snow into
Slopes. Streams.
Water flows and rivers. Mountains are affected in
Storing.
storing water and are sometimes called the water towers of the world. All of the big rivers on Earth start in the mountains. For example, in India, the
Ganges.
Ganges River starts in the Himalaya mountain range and flows for
2,500
2,500
kilometers.
into the Bay of
Bengal.
Bengal and the Indian Ocean.
Good. All right. So, mountains are effective. All right. Very good. Any words here we don't know? Mountains, effective, water towers. What's a water tower? I know many houses in Taiwan or big apartment buildings, the way top, the roof, there will be a water tower where we can store water. Okay. But what does store mean? Because I think store, we think of 7-Eleven or a grocery store. Good. Store can also mean to keep or collect. Okay. So does your mom store extra food in her kitchen? Store. The mountain stores lots of water. Store. All right, next. Leo, we stopped at here. Another.
Another example is a river, which begins in the Rocky Mountains in the United States and flows all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Mountains are also important because they provide homes to living animals that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. You can find mountain gorillas in the mountains of East Africa and special bears called spectacle bears in the Antarctic. There are also some leopards in Canada.
Good. Okay. What is provide? Who can give me a different word for provide? Give. Very good. So mountains give homes to many animals that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. What does exist? Sorry? Where they can live? No. Exist means to live. Yeah, it can mean that. To be or to be real. I can say that does maybe Leo will say, hey, my favorite animal is a unicorn, And I will say, unicorns don't exist. They are not real. Right? Do unicorns exist in real life?
Before.
Maybe not. Well, right now, I don't think so. Okay? So for an animal to exist in the mountain, that just means to be able to live there, to be alive there in the mountain. Here, to live in a difficult condition. Okay, so it can mean two things. Number one, to be real or not real, or to live in. All right, that was Leo. Now it's Ryder. Start at Mount Cameroon.
Mount Cameroon is a mountain that is also one of Africa's largest active volcanoes, rising to more than 4,000 meters at its peak. It has 210 different species of birds and 70 species of invertebrates. Mountains are home to many amazing animals and birds. Unfortunately, some of these animals are becoming rare. This is happening because people are taking more land and using more resources, such as water and wood. They are building farms and roads in the mountains. This means animals have less space to make their homes and find food.
Good, okay. What is active? So that means to move, to be active, or an active volcano means that it still can do something. It's still alive. Active, it is still in movement. Okay, very good. Pika.
Food. Did you know that 80% of the food we comes from just 20 types of plants? 6 of these plants are found in the mountains. Do you like French fries? Well, guess what? Potatoes first came from the Andes. The world's longest mountain range is 7,000 kilometers through South America. Today, farmers in the Andes grow 2,000 different types of
Good. Emily? In the mountains? Nepal. Sierra. Quality. Kerosene. Will help us with the flow of water. Okay, here, let's see. What's quality? That means how good something is. Good quality or bad quality. It's talking about what something is made of. Is the essence good or bad? Or we can talk about like a quality. Is the video resolution, the quality good? Some videos are very blurry. You can't see it clearly, right? We will say that's bad quality. Quality. All right. Last few sentences. The terraces made by Inca Indians 500 years ago are still used by farmers in the Andes Mountains in Peru. Remember how water from rain and snow flows down mountains with rich soil and a lot of water? Mountain valleys are often good places to grow fruits, vegetables, and other crops. All right. How about flows? What does flow mean? What can flow? Water can flow if it goes from one place to another. Yes, flows to another place. We can also say, maybe if a girl is running and she has long hair and she doesn't have it, like my hair right now, this is in a ponytail. But Chantel, her hair is not tied up, it's down, right? Her hair is down. If she starts to run, her hair might flow in the wind like this. That's what we can also use flow. Okay, so water can flow in a river, in a stream, or maybe if I spill my water on the table, it'll flow on the table. So it's movement of the water. All right, let's go to the next page. Okay, so let's look at this chart. 2 boxes, cause and effect. Why something happens and what happens because of it. Okay, so look at the text, what we just read. I want everybody to find 3 causes and 3 effects. Okay, and then we'll share our answers with each other. So for example, when the sun warms water, so the sun, it warms water, that's the cause. The effect is the water turns into water vapor or transforms into water vapor. That's one cause and effect. All right, did everybody write? Okay, if you just wrote 1 or 2, that's okay too. Who can share their answer? I would like 2 people to share their answer. And if you didn't write anything down, you listen and you can write down what your classmate shares. Chantel, did you write one? Can you share? Good. Okay, so what's the cause? The cause is when the water condenses all together and then it will start to rain. Okay. How about Pika? What did you write?
Mountains are equal because the one home to many animals.
Okay, so what's the cause though? You can't say mountains are important. So maybe you could say
The provide homes to many animals is cause mountains are important is it?
Okay, well, I guess that works. Okay. All right. So did everybody write one? Okay, then let's go to part B. Circle the correct answer. Number 1. In the mountains, where is the water? Anyone remember? Tell me if it's right. It's what? B in the snow. Okay, we'll check later. Number 2. How many species of birds are on Mount Cameroon? Who remembers? 210? Okay. Number 3. What grows in the mountains?
Potatoes.
Who likes to eat potatoes?
I like french fries, don't like potatoes.
Why are mountains important? All of the above. Okay, we're right. Okay, let's finish this part. Words in context. Look again at the words. We circle the text and write them in the correct sentences. Okay. Okay, so on page 111, the bottom yellow box, these words. Okay, so number 1, the river Thames, what through London? Good. So the words from page 111. So try and fill that in yourself. If you don't know it, you can first skip it and we'll go over it together. Anybody know what minerals are? You could tell teacup what are minerals. Can you Google it?